What's up, you guys? This is Off Topic Games with a deck profile for you guys. This one was kind of requested. This is the Spike Brothers GB8 deck. You probably saw it in the top 4 of our local tournament. That was this deck specifically. We added a bit of different things to the deck. Not too sure if it's 100% fully optimized. Probably isn't, but we're testing a few cards and stuff. And there's probably some changes that I would have made. But let's just get started. For our starter for our starter we run Mecha Trainer. We're actually running 4 because this deck is GB8 Turbo, so you have to get the GB8 really fast by using the new G-Guards that flip something. So we want to get into Hellhard him really fast, preferably by first to second stride, and then Mecha Trainers can search for heals, so that's why we run 4. For our grade 3s, we run 4 Rising Nova. This is actually very important because part of the combo requires the restanding grade 1 for charge units, and that needs a Rising Vanguard. So that's the reason why I run the Rising Nova. It also has an effect, I guess, if you want. The GB2 is to put a card from your hand into your soul. When it attacks the Vanguard, you may pay the cost if you use search your deck for up to 1 card, call to rear guard, shuffle your deck. On stride, counterblast 1. Choose a card from your hand, put it to soul. When it attacks a Vanguard, you can pay the cost to search your deck for up to 1 card, call it to open rear guard, and it gets plus 5,000 on turn, so that's nice as well. Then we run 4 Hive Maker. This card is really good because it helps set up your combos. It basically gives an extra plus 10k to your booster when you're on Hellhard, so it's just a great card to go into. We want to run 3 because it's very good. For our grade 2s, this is where it gets kind of weird. It's not that bad though. 4 Cobalt Impulse. When you go into Hellhard, you have to guard him, or else he gets you a free attack and a retire, which is whatever. Lethal Forward is the same thing. It's an on-hit to call card. So again, if it hits, it gets you an extra attack, basically. 2 Mayhem Tiger. I don't like this. The card's amazing. I would want it as more than just 2. I'm not too sure exactly how, but the card is great. Basically, they have to PG it or G-Guard it, or they take it. What it does is charge when your opponent puts a unit on the Guardian Circle during the battle that this unit attacked Vanguard. If this unit is in charge, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's grade 2 or less Guardians and retire it. This is not a once per turn effect, so whenever they do it, you just use this skill and you do it again, do it again, do it again. It's crazy. It's really good. And Hellhard himself, as well as other cards, put cards into the soul, so you don't normally run out too often unless, yeah. And then we run Poker for the Link Joker matchup. This is very important, actually. And it's very easy to get your Cray Elemental in the G-Zone face-up. Next, we run for Millie. This is the PG. We run this because it's a charge unit. The skill doesn't really matter, but if you want to know what it does, it's GB1, choose a card from your hand, discard it. When this unit attack hits the Vanguard, if this unit is charging, you may pay the cost if you do return to your hand, so whatever, really not very good, but it's good for a charge because it restands the grade 1 and it is another attack target. Then we run 4 Stride Fodder because striding is very important. And it searches for Rising Nova, which is also very important, and it's also searchable via Mecha Trainer if needed. Next, this is one thing I disagree with, but whatever. We're going to run 3 Frog Raider. Preferably going to cut up to 2. We're taking in this one grade 1 that you will see. What Frog Raider does, he is the key important piece to the combo. You don't necessarily need him, but he's great. What he does is when you're charging it, unit with charge ability is placed in the rear guard with the same column as this unit due to the effect of one of your cards. If you have Vanguard with the Rising in its card name, you stand this unit. So, great card, because it just restands whenever a charge unit is called and it comes in as charge. We run this one tech of, I am pretty sure you should take it out because it's not very good. But it's the multi-attack grade 1. So what it does is, when this is placed in the rear guard circle, choose a face-up card in your damage zone and turn it face down, so counterblast. You don't need it to call it, but it is a mandatory skill if you can pay the ability. The other skill that is the most important part is all rear guards cannot attack the Vanguard in the 5th or more battle unless counterblast 1 is paid, so that's usually just to stop the multi-attacks because being aggressive really kills this deck. Granted, this deck runs a lot of draw triggers, but yeah, I don't think you should run this. It should be like the 4th Frog Raider or more attackers or something, but yeah. Next, that's not... You run 4 heals, the G-Guard one specifically, because going into the soul is nice. It's Linus, it's great. This is searchable. You want to search it, you want to have like 3 to 4 copies in your hand. We run 8 draw triggers, so I've seen people run 12. But you don't have to. Deck out can also be an option. Draw triggers can also be awkward when like you run out of pieces for charge units, which happens a lot for me when I play this deck. This isn't my deck personally, so I didn't play in tournament, but I've played the deck for fun. And I personally ran out of charge units a lot, which is kind of weird. But yeah, there's 8. You can cut up to 12 if you want. We're running 4 crits instead. The one that soul charge draws. If you saw in the video, the player who played this deck triple crit at 2 and it killed them, which is crazy. That normally shouldn't ever happen, but it does, and crits do help occasionally when you need it. So that's the deck ready. For the G-Zone, I already changed it just a little. Instead of 2 Hellhards, we're running 2. Again, the G-Zone doesn't matter at all, but it's really just a bunch of G-Guards and Hellhard normally, and like this card. But sometimes you're forced to play a little bit more of a normal Vanguard game, so that's why you have other strides to go into. I chose to run 2 Hellhard in this deck profile, because sometimes if they get super lucky or something, you don't kill them, and sometimes you want another one. So, and you know, another one doesn't really hurt, because I took out like the on-hit card. I'll show you from Fighter's Collection. And in my opinion, this card isn't that great. I'd rather run another GB8, so we're running 2. If you don't know what it does, GB8, when this unit attacks, choose one of your units, and until the end turn, that unit gets plus 10,000. And the auto skill, Rearguard, choose this unit and a card from your hand. And then at the end of the battle, this unit attacked or boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 card called to an open Rearguard, shuffle your deck. So basically, it gets 10k in, and after attacked or boosted, put it into soul and a card from your hand into soul, and then call a card to open Rearguard, which is great. So yeah, you can basically just do it as many times as you have cards in your hand, basically, and cards to call. It's a great card. It's your win condition. I'll show you this out a bit later. Next, your probable first stride is Heat Element. Basically, it's an axe skill. You flip up anything face up. Until the end turn, it gets, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, choose one of your rear guards, it gets plus 5,000 for each face-up card in G-Zone. That doesn't really matter. It only matters because it flips something and it's a Cray Elemental. For this deck, you want to deny Counterblast. So normally you don't even attack the Vanguard when possible. You try and attack rear guards because you should kill. And you want to leave them without a lot of Counterblast because they can't kind of like push back without too much resources. Again, depending on the deck, but yeah. So running one of this. 2 Rising Supernova. Don't like this card. Especially if running 2, it doesn't normally go off. Where'd the second one go? But I guess we're running it just as another out. Again, as I said before, the other cards in G-Zone don't really matter. But if you need it, you can. Dirty Picaro is one card that I have gone into. Again, it's not necessarily needed, but sometimes you just go into it. GB2, Counterblast 2. Choose a face down card from G-Zone, turn it face up. Choose a card from your hand, discard it, or put into your soul. When this unit attacks Vanguard, you may search your deck for up to 1 card from your deck for each card's face up in G-Zone. Call the cards to separate open rear guards and then shuffle. So pretty good. Miracle Ace is a 2-of because it flips itself. Again, not really needed, but whatever. I've never gone to this for this specific deck. Once per turn, Counterblast 1. Choose itself, turn it face up. Until the end turn, this unit gets, when your rear guard is put into the deck, choose up to one of your units, it gets plus 5,000. And until the end turn, it also, and auto, GB3, Soul Blast 2. When your rear guard is put into the deck, you may pay the cost. If you choose up to 1 card from your hand, call it to open rear guard. So, not that bad, but we don't really use it. Winds of Breeze because If they try to grade lock themselves, which also can hurt the deck, you also have access to Surprise, which will help you a bit on your pushes, because you can use the on-stride skill to call something and just like attack a lot, hopefully. For G-Guards, we run quite a lot because G-Guarding is very important. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is crazy. Now, you're curious on why you run 7, and the limit is you cannot G-Guard when you have 4 or more face-up G-Guards in your G-Zone, right? So, how do you use so many G-Guards? You kind of do, but you kind of don't. Let me first go over each of their skills. So we run 3 Linus in case we can do it on first stride. What it does is GB1, choose a G-Guardian, turn it face up until the end turn. Or sorry, when this unit is placed in the Guardian Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your rear guards. You may put it into your soul. This unit gets plus 10,000 until the end of that battle for every 2 cards in the open rear guard circle. So it can max be a 35k shield. And we run 3 of it. Next we run 1 Juggernaut Maximum. What he does is, when it's placed in the Guardian Circle, you may choose a grade 2 or less rear guard, and you may have that unit getting plus 10,000 to the end turn. And then if you do, this unit gets plus 10,000 shield until the end of battle. And then at the end of the battle, at the end of that turn, put that rear guard onto the bottom of your deck. So pretty mediocre card, but it is a 25k shield. But yeah, 1 Dismal, because protecting rear guards can be something. I don't really know. You don't need it. Again, it's just whatever. 1 a Gleam Clone. When you G-Guard into it, discard draw. That's very kind of important. Sometimes you can fish for like the turn 1 play. And then 1 Airy. It's a 20k shield when you have less rear guards than your opponent, I believe. 3 or less rear guards, it gets plus 5,000 until the end of battle. So, good card. So the reason why you can use like technically all of this is because it's if you have it face up in the, if you have 4 or less face up in the G zone. So let's say like I don't know, you first G guard because it's GB1, right? And let's say you didn't G guard or stride before, so you G guard into this, discard draw, do your thing. So you have 1 face up in the G zone. Then next you use the second one, flip a copy, so you have 2, and then maybe you don't want to do the other 2 then. So or let's say you just do. You have to do like 3 at a time basically, because you can't just do 1 at this point in time, because after this you have 3, and then you'll do the 4th one, and then you have 4, so you can't G-Guard again. However, you can do all 3 at one time, and then if you use the second one, this is still in the Guardian Circle, so you can still do 3. You have 3, so you can do it again, and now you have 4. And then that's 7 already, so you can GB8 this turn, if you have it first turn, whatever. If you don't, then you only need 3, and you flip like whatever, these 2 cards on your, because of your first stride. And then all you need to do is this, flip this, so that's 4, flip this, that's 6, and then any other G-Guard that you want, and that's 7 to 8, so you can go into Hellhard again. So the optimal combo for having Hellhard is Hellhard as the Vanguard. Obviously you want Rising Nova as the Vanguard. Preferably you have one of these guys, because it's great. You don't have to have it before you like attack, because you can always Rising Nova into it. Or you can Rising Nova into one of your attackers. I don't know. Yeah. Just for like easy, we'll just put this here. It doesn't really matter what it is, because it'll go back. But you should have like a bunch of cards in your hand. So let's say you have like 8 or something, because you start off turn 4 or 5, you draw, discard for stride, and then you drive check. And let's say you suck, so you draw check nothing. So 5, 6, 7, 8. We have an 8 card hand, which is not that bad. So yeah, we did our thing. On attack of the Vanguard, you call card whatever. You use the skill this gets plus 10. So it is a 17k booster minimum. If you called it, then it's plus 5. If you hit triggers, then it's more. But let's say we didn't do either. So it's just 17k booster, which again isn't that bad. So 17 plus 11 is 28. And then this skill activates again. It gives itself plus 10, which is, what is it, 38? So at the end of the battle, put this unit and then this unit in your soul. And let's say you just didn't hit any of your guys, so you have like a bunch of charge units, because this can only restand if you call a charge unit. So you have hive makers, right? And you have your on hits. So normally you want to go into your on hits first, but hive maker will give your thing plus 10, because what it does is, I probably didn't say this, but it's GB1. If this unit is charging, which it will be, Counterblast 1, when this unit is put into your deck from your rearguard circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to one card from your hand called to open rearguard circle. So when it attacks, because this will stand, so when it attacks, instead you can give this plus 10 again, and it'll go back by itself. And then you call a card to open rearguard. So let's say you call the on hit, it'll restand, and then this just gave it plus 10. Otherwise, this isn't going so sorry, it goes back to the deck. So you can do it as many times as you have Counterblast, because it's just great. But you want your on hits to go off, or to activate, because if they do let it hit, then you get an extra attack off, so they might as well just not let it hit, right? Because this one draws, which means you'll get another target, or another card to put into the soul. And then the other one, this one will call a card, so call it here or something, and it will give it another attack again. So generally they're just both great to work. But yeah, so this will be like this is 17 minimum, this is 9 plus 10, which is 19, so 36 swinging. They have to guard it or else you get another attack off. Put it into your soul, do this stuff, basically go through a bunch of your stuff until they hit 5. And you don't have any counterblast left, so you can go into this again. Then you go into this guy. So hopefully they save PGs for it. If they didn't, they're just straight dead. If you even got into it in the first place. If not, then you swing with this, and then if they manually guard it with grade 2s or 1s or 0s, you just Soul Blast and then pop their Guardians, and then you just win like that. Really cheesy deck. Not too many decks can like counter it. Things that you can do against it is basically just rush, stay at grade 2 or grade 1 if you have to. It really doesn't work too well because they have a lot of draws and stuff. And they have Sabreeze, I guess, if that's needed. So yeah, pretty hard deck to counter it against unless you're like Freeze Ray. Chaos Breaker can lose to this deck very easily because you're running Pocker, and you're kind of slow as well, so yeah. Yeah, that's the basic deck profile, guys. Please let us know if you liked it. If you have any suggestions, comments, questions, or concerns, you can leave them down in the comment section down below. Sorry for the noise around, guys. Both my brother and the dog is kind of loud. We don't have a dog, it's the neighbors. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you all later.